My name is Ann, and this is Billy D., and we're here to talk today about child safety around dogs. Do you know where Mr. Thompson's classroom is? You seem as though you're a little nervous around dogs, are you?
Well, kind of.
You know something? I'm really proud of you for admitting that. But the truth is that everybody's afraid of something. What's your name?
Aaron.
Aaron. Well, you know, Aaron, I would really love to stay and talk with you for a little while, but we really have to get to Mr. Thompson's classroom.
That's where I'm supposed to be.
Would you mind very much if Billy and I followed you there?
Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay, class, time to close your books. The AKC Canine Ambassador is here.
Hello, boys and girls. My name is Ann.
Hi, Ann.
And this is Billy D. She's a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. And we're here today to help you learn how to be safe around dogs. So how many of you have dogs? How many of you are afraid of dogs? When I was your age, I was petrified of dogs. A dog bit me, but it was my fault that he did. I didn't know how to be safe around dogs. And that's some of the things that I'm going to talk to you about today and help you learn how to be safe around them. So if you're outside and you see a loose dog, don't run. Put your head down, don't look at the dog, put your hands in your pockets, and walk away normally. I always keep Billy D on a leash when we're in public. You know, the American Kennel Club supports responsible dog ownership. Dogs should always be kept on leashes in public. But in some cases, you may encounter loose dogs. If a pair or group of loose dogs approaches you, throw something away from the dogs and yourself to distract them. Use anything, like a baseball cap or a book, that might be interesting enough for the dog to start sniffing and investigating. Once the dog goes towards the object, start walking slowly away with your hands in your pockets. Again, don't stare at the dogs.
You said not to stare at the dog. Why not?
Good question. Suppose that you were outside and you're minding your own business, and all of a sudden, a stranger came up to you, and they started staring at you like this. Wouldn't you think that maybe they were going to hurt you? Wouldn't that make you a little afraid? Now, Billy and I can stare in each other's eyes because we know each other, and we love each other, and we understand each other. But if you stare into the eyes of a strange dog, that dog may think that you're going to start a fight. He may take it as a challenge and think that he's going to have to defend himself. Did all of you wash your hands after you ate lunch today? Well, if Billy D could talk, she could tell you what you ate. Dogs have an incredible sense of smell. They can smell things from miles away. And that's why I told you, put your hands in your pockets when you see a loose dog. Otherwise, the dog may smell what you've eaten, want to come up, sniff your hands. Hands in the pocket, the dog will probably ignore you. Yes?
What if the dog still follows me?
The best thing to do is to stand absolutely still, just like a tree, and give yourself a big, big hug, crossing your arms. Most likely, the dog is just going to sniff you, lose interest, and walk away.
I like dogs. Whenever I see one, I go right up and pat it on the head.
I'm really so glad that you like dogs. But you know something? You still have to be very cautious. For instance, whenever you're outside, always be cautious and act safely around dogs. So if you're riding your bike, be on the lookout for loose dogs. If you spot a group of loose dogs, get off your bike slowly and calmly walk away from the dogs. That's how you can avoid a dangerous situation. If a group of loose dogs comes upon you quickly, stay calm. Dogs instinctively chase speeding objects, so slow your bike down. Stop. Set your bike to the side and stand very still with your hands in your pockets. Don't make eye contact with the dogs. Hopefully the dogs will sniff you and eventually lose interest. Then you can calmly walk away. You all know not to talk to strangers, right? Why?
Because they might not be nice.
That's right. Because the dog doesn't know if you're going to be nice, and you don't know if the dog is going to be nice. So you should never rush up to a strange dog. Suppose you were walking down the street, minding your own business, and all of a sudden a total stranger came running up and bopped you in the head. Wouldn't you be scared? Well, a dog is the same. He might think that maybe you're going to hurt him. This reminds me, suppose somebody comes up to you and tells you that their dog is lost, and they ask you to go with them to help find it.
I'm not allowed to. Maybe you should go talk to an adult. There's my friend Ann over there.
Please tell them to call the animal control people or to talk to the adults in your neighborhood.
There's a dog on my block. He has to stay inside a fence, but he barks a lot when I walk to school.
I'm sure he does. Dogs are territorial, and that means they like to defend their property and they like to defend their family. But now remember what I said about staring at a dog. Even when a dog is behind a fence, you should not stare at him, you shouldn't tease him, you shouldn't throw things at him. Suppose you were in your yard, and all of a sudden, some children came up and they started throwing some sticks and stones over the fence at you and yelling at you and teasing you. How would you feel?
I'd be mad.
Sometimes when you're playing with a dog, the playing may turn into teasing. Now, teasing would be pulling the dog's tail, pretending that you're going to give him a toy, but you really don't give it to him. Now, when people are teased, they can get very angry inside. They may even want to hit the person who's teasing them. But dogs can't do that, and dogs can't make a fist. So a dog may use his teeth. This is why we should always respect a dog. Can you think of a time that maybe you teased a friend? Can you remember what that friend might have looked like? Maybe his mouth got all tight. Maybe he put his head down or put his shoulders up. Well, you knew how he felt and he never said anything. And that's called body language. And dogs have body language too. Now, a happy dog will be wagging its tail. Usually the ears are very up and perky. You might even have a smile on their face. You might see a dog who has its ears back, showing his teeth. That would mean that something's made that dog very angry. You might even see a dog with his tail tucked between his legs. Maybe he's shaking. That dog might be frightened of something or be very, very shy. When you see that kind of body language, you should leave the dog alone. And when you know how to treat a dog, you'll stay safe. Some dogs may not like children, or maybe the dog doesn't feel well that day. We all have days we don't feel good. I bet there are mornings you wake up and you feel so miserable, you just don't want to bother with anybody, not even play with your friends. Well, dogs have days like that too. When you see a dog you'd like to pet, always approach the dog and owner slowly and ask the owner for permission. Politely say, "May I pet your dog?" "I'd rather you didn't. She's really not." Most of the time the owners will say, "Sure." But if the owner says no, you should respect that. Some dogs aren't used to children. But if the owner says that it's okay, now's the time to use your good manners. You know the way grown-ups shake hands? That's the polite thing to do when you meet someone. And there's a polite way to introduce yourself to a dog.
May I pet your dog?
First, close your hand in a fist and hold the back of it near the dog's nose. Don't jerk back, because that could startle the dog and he might be a little scared. Just move your hand up close so the dog can sniff you. Then open your hand and pet the dog under its chin or on its chest. Remember what I had said earlier, that if you were walking down the street and all of a sudden a stranger came up and they raised their hand over your head, that you might think they're going to bop you in the head. And a dog might think the same thing. This is why I told you to gently pet or scratch the dog under his chin and on his chest. And that's a friendly gesture. The dog knows that you want to be friends, and he'll be a friend to you. Now, who remembers what to do if they see a stray dog? Yes?
Just turn and walk away, but don't run. Hide your hands and don't stare at the dog.
Very good. But now, why do you put your hands in your pockets?
So he can't smell food and stuff on him.
That was excellent. Now, what would you do if the dog still followed you? Yes?
Stand like a tree.
You know, I'm really so impressed with how quickly you've all learned today. Now, Erin, would you like to show us the proper way to greet a dog?
Hi, that looks like a nice dog. May I pet her?
Yes, she is a nice dog, and sure you can pet her. That was great, Erin. So tell me, what else have you learned about safety around dogs?
I learned to be cautious around dogs. Avoid loose dogs. Always ask the owner for permission before petting a dog. Never stare at, tease, or throw things at a dog. Never go face to face with a strange dog. And always respect the dog and its space.
Erin, I thought that you were afraid of dogs.
I was at first, but now I'm not. Because you taught me the right way to be safe with them.
Oh, that's great.
The American Kennel Club, founded in 1884, is the principal purebred dog registry in the United States. It is also the leading regulatory agency for the sport of purebred dogs nationwide. There are several ways for you to get involved in the sport of purebred dogs, such as junior showmanship and the Canine Good Citizen program. Attend a local dog show and talk to handlers and dog owners to learn more about purebred dogs.